of Employment Trust Fund, other initiatives. Nigerian Army dismantles 13 illegal refineries, arrests 15 suspects in Niger Delta. On the foreign team, court charges South Korea's impeached President Yoon Yeol with insurrection over martial law attempt. And in sports, Super Eagles winger Samuel Chukwu Eze returns from injury to bag late winner for AC Milan. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State government has called on young entrepreneurs to take advantage of the funding support provided by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, and other initiatives by applying for loans and grants to boost their trade. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho, who made the call, noted that many startups have become stable and profitable through support from LSETF and other agencies of the Lagos State government that provide financial support to growing business entities. Omotosho assured residents that the dividends of democracy will trickle down to the grassroots as the Sanwo-Olu administration continues to unveil new projects across local government and local council development areas. He stated that Lagos will continue to explore initiatives in tourism to boost revenues, attract foreign exchange, and position Lagos as a truly competitive global destination. According to him, the new Massey Street Children's Hospital project has reached an advanced stage and will be the biggest pediatric facility in West Africa, while projecting that the facility will be set for commissioning later this year. The Commissioner mentioned that other projects in the health sector, such as the 208-bed General Hospital in Ojo, the Psychiatric Hospital in Ketu-Ejiri, as well as infrastructure upgrades at Ibejuleki and Lagos General Hospitals, will also expand resources available to residents for top-notch medical services. Lagos State government says the full enforcement of removal of stalls and shanties under Akbongbo Bridge and on the setback of Savage, Elegbata, Bombata drainage channel on Lagos Island will commence on Tuesday following the expiration of the 48 hours quit notice issued last week. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made this known while speaking with newsmen at Ebuteru after an inspection tour to Ologbo Agbongbon axis in Lagos Island. Wahab said the government will remove all shanties impeding drainage channels in the best interest of all residents. He explained that the state officials repeated the tour to ascertain the level of compliance by stall owners and traders operating on drainage channels and setbacks with a quit notice issued to them. He recalled that last week, during an inspection tour, it was observed that the setback of these two critical drainage collectors, which are Bombata, Olusi, at Alagbafo collector, have been converted into shops and stalls, thereby causing total blockage of the collectors. As part of efforts to provide quality education in the state, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, through the Lagos State Examinations Board, has announced the commencement of registration for the year 2025 Universal Basic Education by Continuous Assessment Scores, UBE, by CAS, and placement tests from Monday, January 27 to Friday, April 2025. Director, Lagos State Examinations Board, Adebayo Orunsolu, said that only primary 6 pupils in public and approved private primary schools in the state are eligible to participate in the UBE by CAS and placement tests, noting that registration is free for public primary schools, while pupils of approved private primary schools are expected to pay the sum of 5,000 naira per candidate through the Lagos State Central Billing System, CBS. Orunsolu also informed that parents, guardians, head teachers, proprietors and proprietresses of primary 6 pupils transiting into junior secondary schools about the approval of Yoruba language as one of the subjects for testing the knowledge and thinking ability of pupils sitting for the placement tests by CAS in the state. He enjoined authorities of public and approved private primary schools in the state to take note of the date and ensure that parents and guardians are duly informed. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted a shipment of cannabis, also known as loud, concealed in a duvet and destined for the United Kingdom. The agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, said a consignment was intercepted at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos. Babafemi revealed that two suspects, Adakole Sunday and Austin Balogun, linked to the consignment, were immediately arrested following the discovery by NDLEA officers. He said the raid in the Ikorodu area of Lagos led to the discovery of a hideout where squishies and weapons were recovered. Meanwhile, the chairman, chief executive officer of the NDLEA, Mohammed Marwa, commended the officers involved in the operations and emphasized the agency's commitment to combating drug trafficking and promoting drug use prevention. And now to the rest of the stories. The 6th Division of the Nigerian Army has dismantled 13 illegal refining sites, recovered 300,000 litres of stolen crude oil, and arrested 15 suspected oil thieves. The acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Army Public Relations, Jonah Danjuma, said the Nigerian Army has continued to tighten the noose against oil thieves, with numerous successes resonating across the joint operations area. Danjuma said at Ugo Community in Oriomo local government area, Edo State, troops discovered a vandalized point containing 252,000 litres of stolen crude oil. Also, the General Manager commanding 6th Division, Emmanuel Emeka, lauded the troops for their efforts in combating oil theft and pipeline vandalism. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against the administration of President Bola Tinubu and the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, over what it described as the arbitrary and unconstitutional 50% increase in telecom tariffs. The NCC recently approved a traffic tariff hike, which raised the cost of a 1-minute call from 11 naira to 16.5 naira. The price of 1 gigabyte data from 287.5 to 431.25, and SMS charges from 4 to 6 naira. The hike has sparked widespread criticism, with SERAP leading legal opposition to the decision. In the suit filed at the Federal High Court, Abuja, SERAP contends that the tariff hike infringes on the citizens' rights to freedom of expression and access to information as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution and international treaties. The National Agricultural Development Fund, NADF, has reaffirmed its commitment to revolutionizing Nigeria's agricultural sector, positioning it as a cornerstone of economics and social development. NADF Executive Secretary Mohammed Ibrahim says it is committed to transforming the agricultural landscape in Nigeria. Ibrahim said this during the 32nd convocation ceremony at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State. He highlighted NADF's swift response to a devastating epidemic in Nigeria's ginger growing belt, which destroyed 80% of the region's produce. In addressing systemic challenges, Ibrahim underscored the importance of locally relevant demand-driven research. He announced the completion of a needs assessment of agricultural research institutes and federal colleges of agriculture designed to identify commercially viable projects that could attract private funding. Ibrahim called on the graduates to see themselves as more than farmers, but as nation builders tasked with unlocking agriculture's transformative potential for the country. Now to foreign news. South Korea's impeached President Yoon Yeol has been charged with insurrection after he attempted to declare martial law in December. Yeol's ill-fated attempt to impose military rule plunged the country into an unprecedented political crisis, and he becomes the first sitting president in South Korean history to be charged with a crime. The indictment comes after a court in Seoul rejected a request to extend Yoon's detention, which meant prosecutors had to make a decision on whether to charge or release him before Monday. A spokesman from the main opposition Democratic Party, Han Min-soo, said the punishment of the ringleader of insurrection now begins finally. Separately, the Constitutional Court has begun deliberations on whether to formally dismiss Yoon as president or reinstate him. The impeached president has largely refused to cooperate with the criminal investigation over the martial law declaration. Yoon is set to stand trial along with his former defense minister and senior military commanders who are accused of helping him plan and carry out the attempt to seize total power. In our sports, Super Eagles winger Samuel Chukwueze has scored a stoppage-time goal to help AC Milan secure a 3-2 win against Parma in Sunday's Serie A game. Chukwueze had been sidelined from action for Milan due to a hamstring injury which he sustained against Roma on December 29. The 25-year-old recovered from his injury and was named in Milan's bench in the game. He was then brought in the 57th minute and bagged the winner in the 95th minute. Matteo Cancellieri opened the scoring in the 24th minute, but Christian Pulisic made it 1-1 from the penalty spot. Enrico Del Prato restored Parma's lead with 10 minutes left before Tijani Reijnders drew Milan level on the 92nd minute. Chukwueze has now scored 2 goals in 18 league appearances for the Rossoneri. The win against Parma means Milan move up to 6th place on 34 points on the league table. And that's all for the news at 6. Always obey signs and traffic lights. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms at X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration strengthened alliances with 200 representatives from various women-focused NGOs in the state? As part of efforts to alleviate the economic plight of women residents in the state, you can get more details on the Lagos State government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State government has called on young entrepreneurs to take advantage of the funding support provided by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, and other initiatives by applying for loans and grants to boost their trade. The 6th Division of the Nigerian Army has dismantled 13 illegal refining sites, recovered 300,000 litres of stolen crude oil, and arrested 15 suspected oil thieves. We also told you that South Korea's impeached President Yoon Yeol has been charged with insurrection after he attempted to declare martial law in December. And in sports, Super Eagles winger Samuel Chukwueze has scored a stoppage-time goal to help AC Milan secure a 3-2 win against Parma in Sunday's Serie A game. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebeshi. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good evening.